Hey guys, it's me again, back with another video, and today in this video, well, you probably already heard by now, but Avengers Endgame just came out like yesterday, I think, and, yeah, so, I went to see it today, yeah, which is pretty early considering I usually end up waiting till like the last week that a movie's in the theater before I go see it, but no, this time, this is like the second day, this is like only the second day it's been out, so I went, and I saw it. Cause yeah, like I wasn't even paying attention, dude. Like it completely caught me off guard. It's like my fucking stepdad asked me if I wanted to see it tomorrow, which was yesterday then. And yeah, I didn't even realize it was coming out. Like, I wasn't expecting it because Infinity War didn't even come out that long ago, I think. I don't remember when it came out. But yeah, so I was down for it. Like, hell yeah, I wasn't gonna pass up an opportunity like that. I wouldn't even have to avoid spoilers for that long. And yeah, I said some dickhead at school told me that Iron Man died, so I already knew that was gonna happen. And I was pissed. Yeah, so anyway, that was all. That was the only time I got spoiled before I actually went to see the fucking movie. So we went and pulled up in the fucking parking lot of the movie theater, and when I pulled up, like when we came in, I said shit because holy balls, dude, the fucking line was like went like stretch around the whole movie theater. It was freaking huge. Like it was outside. We went in to go to that box where because we paid for our tickets online, so we went there to get them. And that area wasn't crowded, but the line where you go in to go into the theater to actually see the movie, that shit was like packed. It like went outside and stretched around the whole theater. We had to go outside. We had to like go outside and wait in the line. And yeah, we were there for like 30 minutes, then the line started moving. But what happened was we got to skip a whole bunch of people because they were there for a later showing of the movie. So we got to basically just go around them because we got tickets for the first one that they were doing. So we come in, and of course, holy fuck, this shit is still packed, but everybody's like moving around now. We somehow managed to make it to where the podium was, and we gave the dude our fucking tickets, and we went, like the theater they were showing it in was like all the way in the back of the theater. So we had to go all the way over there to the back and like weave into this giant fucking crowd. Like one dude even had like a Infinity Gauntlet on, like a homemade one. So that was pretty cool. People were like dressed up, they were hyped for it. Like people were wearing like Captain America shirts and shit. It was cool. So we get into the theater, and of course it is a fucking hell zone. There are like hundreds of people in there. We did manage to find 3 seats, all next to each other, in like one of the best possible spots, like right in the middle of the theater. So we got pretty lucky because it was me, my stepdad, my stepbrother. So that was pretty lucky. And yeah. So anyway, like I don't even know where to begin. I should say that holy fuck, dude, that movie was awesome. It was like when it started out, it wasn't so good, but towards the end, it was like holy shit, dude. It went from like 0 to 100 so fucking quick. Like, dude, I don't even know where to start. They had it to where like, dude, I don't know where to even like begin. Um, so basically, the earliest scene I remember is when they had like Iron Man and Nebula, I think was that blue girl's name. She's like a robot or like a cyborg or something. You know, that they were on that ship and they were abandoned. You know, like Iron Man's recording a message on his helmet because he thinks he's gonna die. But then Captain Marvel comes and saves him. She like brings the ship back to Earth. And of course, there are only like a few Avengers left because, you know, almost everybody fucking died in Infinity War because Thanos dusted all of them. So yeah, and of course now they're trying to figure out what the hell they're gonna do. And then, yeah, so they had this part where Ant-Man, there was his van, he got trapped in like the quantum zone or whatever, where he was like really tiny, and yeah, he couldn't leave because he was trapped in there because Wasp was like supposed to take him out, but she got dusted while Ant-Man was still in there, so he basically got trapped. But there was a rat on the controls, and it ended up fucking around with the controls, and it ended up setting Ant-Man free from the quantum zone. So he's like, I guess he was like in the quantum zone while Thanos shit was happening, because he like didn't know what the hell was going on. He was like wondering why everybody was gone. He like went to the gravesite, checking the names of everybody who got dusted, basically, like looking for somebody's name. He went back to his house and found his daughter or whatever, and yeah, and so on and so forth. So basically, they went and found the Hulk, which the Hulk is like normal now. Like he's still big and green, but he like doesn't have to be like completely pissed off to be the Hulk anymore. He can be like normal, you know. He like found a way to control it. So anyway, they end up learning that they could make like a sort of time machine with the quantum shit. That, you know how Ant-Man gets real tiny. Well, they figured out that they could go like back in time to some extent to like before the Thanos shit started and get like all the Infinity Stones, and then like use them to bring everybody back this time who got dusted, you know. So there was a scene where fucking Ant-Man, they were like testing out the time machine for the first time. Yeah, every time they sent Ant-Man back like a week to the past, but every time they brought him back he was like a different age, that they managed to get him back to normal. So they only had enough like PIM particles to for each of them to go back and forth like once. So they split up into 3 groups so they could all go to the different areas where the Infinity Stones were. They also had to get like the Tesseract and Loki's staff. And yeah, so they ended up going to New York because that's like where the Reality Stone and some of the other stones are. And War Machine and Nebula, they go to Morag, I think it was called. That's where the Power Stone is. And then Hawkeye and Black Widow, they go to Red Skull's fucking place where they get the Soul Stone, you know. And of course that ends up being a fucking disaster because Natasha has to kill herself to get the stone. So yeah, she jumps off and dies. Hawkeye gets the Soul Stone. So yeah, and Iron Man and Thor, I think. I don't remember who all was because I got a short-term memory. But they almost completely fucked up because I mean Iron Man he got the briefcase that had the Tesseract in it, but then Hulk fucked everything up. Loki ended up getting the Tesseract and he vanished basically. So they had to go to some military base, well the one where Captain America was created basically, and they had to get another Tesseract. So after a while they ended up getting all the stones, and then Iron Man created basically another Infinity Gauntlet, and Hulk ended up using it to bring everybody back. But there was another Nebula, like it was the one from the past, you know, before she ended up betraying Thanos. So she was still on Thanos' side. Like the one that dusted everybody, he died. Thor cut his head off. Basically, like they like barge into Thanos' house. He's like living on some other planet. He had like a farm. But what they learned was that Thanos destroyed all the stones basically. So that's where they got the idea to go back in time to get the stones back. Because they basically like they had the idea that if they could get the stones from Thanos, they could use them to bring everybody back who got dusted. but they didn't know that Thanos had destroyed them all. So that's why they had to go back in time to get them before Thanos destroyed them. They ended up going back in time before all the Thanos shit started, before he even had any of the stones. But then Thanos ended up learning that people from the future were trying to stop him. So we're back at the part where Hulk had the Infinity Gauntlet. He snapped, but instead of dusting everybody, he brought everybody who got dusted back. And but Nebula, the one from the past, she ended up like disguising herself to look like the Nebula from the future, basically. And she ended up bringing Thanos, the past Thanos, into their world somehow, because future Thanos died. You know, he got his head cut off by Thor, so yeah, he died. He's dead. And they end up having this massive fucking battle, like Thanos' ship, like they bomb the shit out of the Avengers building, basically. And like Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man were like fighting Thanos all by themselves, and then he was beating the shit out of them, basically. And that's when something like totally fucking crazy and unexpected happened. Like, um, Thanos was about to kill Thor, like he had Thor's axe and was about to kill him with it, and then Thor's hammer started like floating, and everybody thought, oh, it's gonna be Captain Marvel or some shit. But then the hammer flies over, and then Captain America has it, because he's like worthy now apparently. And he starts kicking the shit out of Thanos, like it looks like he's about to beat him. But Thanos defeats him somehow. He manages to break Captain America's shield somehow with his like double-edged sword. You know, because he's like Darth Maul basically. He has a double-bladed sword. And then Thanos' army is also there. And it looks like they're about to lose, but then all of these Doctor Strange portals start opening up in the Wakandan army. Black Panther, um, like Falcon, Spider-Man, and you know, basically everybody who died came back through the portals. You know, the Guardians of the Galaxy, they were all back. And you know, they had like the army of the wizards, and like, you know, in the Wakandan army, and they had like this giant fucking battle with Thanos' army. And then, yeah. So they end up fighting, you know. Thanos is getting his ass kicked, obviously. So Scarlet Witch ends up coming, and she's just absolutely fucking Thanos' ass, dude. And then Thanos, he has his ship just like bomb the fuck out of him. But then they start shooting at something that nobody can see, and everybody's like, oh, what the fuck is that? Then Captain Marvel flies in and like fucking blasts the shit out of Thanos' ship and crashes it. Yeah. Like at the part where everybody was coming back, like Spider-Man and Falcon, all them, everybody at the theater was clapping, you know, because they were all coming back. Which, yeah, I was glad, because Black Panther's my favorite. I'm glad he came back. He was kicking the shit out of all those dudes. He doesn't even need powers. He's just straight up beating the fuck out of them. That's pretty cool. And, yeah. So, basically, they've got Thanos on edge. Like, he's about to get fucked, basically. But they gotta find a way to get the Infinity Gauntlet back to the past. So they gotta go find the van, you know, because it's the only way that they can go back into the past. So just when they're about to like throw the Infinity Gauntlet back to the past, Thanos like throws a sword at it and destroys the van, and he ends up getting the gauntlet. But of course, you know, the heroes aren't gonna let that happen. They're kicking the shit out of Thanos. He can't get the gauntlet on, you know, because it's got Iron Man and fucking Captain America and all them on his ass. Then Captain Marvel, he puts the gauntlet on. Looks like all hope is lost. Then Captain Marvel swoops in, starts kicking the shit out of him. He like removes the Power Stone from the gauntlet, puts it in his hand, and punches the shit out of Captain Marvel. And then Iron Man comes in just when Thanos is about to snap. And then, of course, Thanos is able to overpower Iron Man with relative ease. He goes to snap, but then nothing happens. Turns out that Iron Man had built like an Infinity Gauntlet into his suit. He took the stones out of Thanos' gauntlet and put them in his. Then he snapped. Like it was this whole fucking cool thing. Like Thanos thinks he's won. He's like, oh, I'm inevitable. And then Iron Man just like, yeah, and I'm Iron Man. You know, he shows that he's got the stones in his suit. He snaps and does Thanos' entire fucking army. Yeah, that was awesome. But the gauntlet ended up killing Iron Man, so yeah, he's dead. But he took Thanos down with him. That's pretty fucking cool. We were pretty disappointed though, because after the credits, nothing happened. They didn't show anything. I mean, there was like the sound of like hammering, you know, and somebody in front of us was like, "Oh, it's." We read online. It's like a blacksmith is repairing Iron Man's suit. Yeah, they had this part where freaking Captain America got real old. He gave his shield to Falcon so he could become the new Captain America. And yeah. Anyway, that was fucking crazy. I just wanted to talk about this because that movie was so fucking good. It was like the best movie I've ever seen. Like, dude, it was crazy. So anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Yeah, shout out to you listening to all this fucking shit. It couldn't have been too. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.